Sean and Rich. Turn marshals are going to be my drivers from race number 5. That'll be our truck group. Sounds like Alan might have a couple of screws loose. Give him a moment to take care of that.
Ready for another race. You did pretty good on.
All right. I also need my truck group. I'm going to need some help turn marshaling this race.
What'd you get? Okay.
Cody Kirk.
What was the other first? Oh, okay.
TH.
Were you part of that big old pileup? Whoa.
Not again.
Rich Bright.
Man. So Alan's going to miss this round. Hopefully we'll see him in round number 2. All right, I might need a little help on the West Coast in terms of turn marshaling. Yeah, Dave making his way over there. If I can get maybe one more on the left side to help him out.
Heath Kim.
All right. I'm going to need a little help on the left side, guys. I should have Brian, David, George, John, and Pat. May need a little help on. Still need some help. I need all my truck drivers. All right. Do I got John out here too? Well, hurry up. Whoa. All right. All right, stay there, John, and then I can have Dave move down or vice versa. Yeah, if you guys want a formation shift, that way Dave can take the cone, and then Brian maybe. I don't know. You guys figure it out. All right, folks. Once we get our marshals in position, we're going to get this race started. Give me 4 cars here in round number 1. Hopefully we'll have a full 5-car race next round. Okay, I think BG might have that area, so Dave, I can probably move you back over here. There we go. All right. We're going to get this party started, drivers. Keep the wheels moving. Keep driving. Next time you cross the start-finish line, your time will begin. Oh. All right, everybody's being scored. First lap going to Sean, 22 flat. Guy Heath, a 22.5. Cody, an 18.1. All right, folks, 45 seconds in. You are a full 6-minute race here on Wednesday nights. All right, 1 minute down, 5 minutes to go. Right now it's Cody, Sean, Heath, and Rich. Just past 1 minute in. Right now we got Cody Kirk out front, 20 laps in the works. Cody out there running the orange and blue. All right, 1:30 down, 4:30 to go. Right now, Cody 1.7 ahead of Sean. Sean 13 ahead of Rich. Rich 7 ahead of Heath. We got 1:40 down, drivers. Careful on the back straight. Go wide. Go wide. That is clear. All right, fast lap so far. We got Cody Kirk going 18-1. Got Sean Torres 18-2. Rich going 19-0. Heath going 21. 2 minutes down. 4 minutes remain. Sean Torres, new fast lap, a 17-4. And that'll put him on top of the leaderboard. He's currently half a second ahead of Cody. Cody 17 ahead of Rich. Rich 12 ahead of Heath. Got 2:25 down, 3:35 to go. All right, Sean, Cody, Rich, and Heath, your running order here with 2:40 down, 3:20 remaining. Closest battle out there going to be Sean versus Cody. They're just 5 seconds apart. All right, drivers, we got 3 minutes down, 3 minutes to go. All right, 3:15 down, 2:45 left. Sean on a 19-lap pace. Got Cody 18:03. Rich 17:18. Heath on a 16-lap run. All right, 2:25 remains, drivers. All right, Sean on a 19-lapper still. Oh, Cody now taking over the top spot. So we got 4 minutes down, drivers.
2 minutes left.
All right, now Cody on an 18.6 flat, almost a 19-lap run. Sean right there with him, 18.02. Got Rich 17.15. Heath on a 15.10. A minute 45 remaining here, drivers. Cody, Sean, Rich, and Heath, your running order. So Cody 2 seconds ahead of Sean. Sean 20 ahead of Rich, and Rich 25 ahead of Keith. We got a minute 20 to go. Cody driving the orange and blue. Got Sean driving the yellow, red, white, and blue. Got Rich running the blue and silver. And we got Heath running the white car. Just over 1 minute remains, drivers. We're now 5 minutes in.
1 minute left.
So Cody 5 seconds ahead of Sean. That's our closest battle on track. Everybody else separated by at least a lap. Careful in the rhythm section. "40 seconds remain. "35 seconds left. Closest battle here, Cody and Sean, now just 1 second apart. So this one might come down to the final lap. Got 20 seconds remaining. "10 seconds to go, drivers. Make the most of it. Keep on going. Do not stop early. Just keep going. Keep on going, drivers. Keep going. Yeah, this one's going to come down to the final lap here between Sean and Cody. The battle for round one supremacy.
Heath, Kim, done.
both of
TH
our
Hunt.
top cars having a little
Rich
trouble on
Bright
this last lap. We'll see how the cookie crumbles here.
All drivers are finished.
So it's going to be Cody Kirk
Cody
taking
Kirk
that one,
done.
going 1918. Sean going 1920. We got Rich a 1706 and Heath going 15 laps. All right, folks, I'm going to need you to set your cars down and come on out to turn marshal, please. Up next is heat number 2. Heat number 2 will be John, George, Chloe, Martin, and Joe. Turn marshals will be all my drivers from race number 1.
Rice Cakes Jr.
All right, got Gross debuting a new car,
Joe Colicchio.
22X.
Loctite Milio.
The Wednesday night debut of Emilio's new nickname.
Martin Arroyo.
Apparently, he really likes Loctite. Hey, you know, there's another racer whose nickname was Black Grease Lightning. Because he literally, he treated the black grease like you would treat like an automotive grease. He just slathered that stuff all over every gear, every moving part on his car. So, yeah, he became Black Grease Lightning. I heard you were drinking it. The blue Loctite is not blueberry.
George Lax.
All right, we need all drivers from that last one. Can I get Cody, Sean, Rich, Heath, and Alan? I mean, I need all your help, please. Yeah, right there, the cone zone. Perfect. Okay, we are good. Drivers, keep the wheels moving. We're going live loop. All right, everybody's being scored. Okay. Fastest opening lap goes to Emilio, 17.2. Got Gross a 17.5. Colicchio, 17.9. Laxton, 18.0. Arroyo, 19. 35 seconds in, drivers. Lap number 2. Fastest lap goes to Gross out of 16.8. Got Emilio, 17.2. Laxton, 17.1. We're 50 seconds in, drivers. Got Laxton going 16.9 that time by. And right now it's going to be Emilio on top of the leaderboard, followed by Laxton, Gross, Colicchio, and Arroyo. Got minute 10 down, 4:50 to go, drivers. So, a minute 20 down. Right now we got John on a 21.03. Got George at 21.05. Joe at 2010, Chloe at 2011, and Martin at 1915. All right, we're a minute 40 down, drivers. Emilio, 0.001 ahead of Laxton. Got Laxton 4.2 ahead of Colicchio. Colicchio 1.6 ahead of Gross. And Gross 5 up on Arroyo. A minute 50 down, 4:10 remains. All right, we got Joe going 17.0 that time by. George crossing with a 16.9. 2:15 down, 3:45 to go. Still in 5-minute mode from Sunday. 2:25 in, 3:35 remaining. John Emilio out front, 0.3 ahead of George. George 3.5 ahead of Joe. Joe 3.5 ahead of Chloe. Chloe 7 seconds up on Martin. All right, we got 2:45 down, 3:15 to go. Closest battle out there going to be Emilio versus Laxon. Drivers, we're approaching 3 minutes down. 3 minutes to go. All right, 3:15 in, 2:45 remaining. Emilio taking over fast lap, going 16.7. You know, if you take the 1 off that, it's 6.7. Got 2:20 to go, drivers. Emilio 21.06, Laxon also 21.06. We got ourselves a battle out front. All right, so we got Emilio 21.05, Laxon 21.07, Colicchio 20.02, Chloe almost on a 20, and Martin a 19.06. So Emilio and Laxon just 7/10 apart. God, George 8 seconds ahead of Joe. Joe 11 seconds up on Chloe, and Chloe 4 seconds ahead of Martin. Getting into the rhythm section, guys. Got a car down. All right, go ahead, Joe. And hold on, Martin. Go. All right, got a minute 20 to go, drivers. Oh, I didn't see it, but I felt it. God, 5 minutes down.
1 minute left.
All right, John Emilio leading the way. He's 2 seconds ahead of George. God, George 14 ahead of Joe. Got Joe lap up on Martin, and this time around, Martin 3.8 ahead of Chloe. 40 seconds left, drivers. "30 seconds remain." Wow, Emilio and Laxon now just 1/10 of a second apart. Right now it's advantage Emilio. Got leaders making their way through that rhythm section. Good teamwork. 10 seconds to go. Oh, trouble ahead, guys. Trouble ahead. Nice. 5 seconds to go.
Joe Colicchio done. George Laxon done. Loctite Emilio done.
And that will
Rice
be
Cakes Jr.
a
done.
race. Wow.
All
George
drivers are
Laxon
finished.
taking it by
Martin Arroyo done.
.014. Good battle, guys. So Laxon a 21.07.44. Emilio a 21.07.45. Joe going 20.04. Chloe 19.09. And Martin 19.12. All right, folks, I'm going to need you to set your cars down. Come on out to turn marshal, please. Up next, race number 3.
Anthony Zachiglowski. Patrick Brill. Steve Loom. Lucas Zachiglowski.
looking for a check from,
Rice
there he
Cake
is.
Supreme.
Okay, I am also looking for turn marshals. Got all my drivers from that last one. I'm going to need your help. Only you can flip over buggies. All right, got everybody checked in. Looks like I got marshals out here. Okay, drivers, we're going to get this party started here. Loop is going live. Okay, everybody's on the clock here. This is race number 3 on track. All right, Lucas going 16-7, Pat 17-4, Steve a 19-4. Brian going 16-3. That'll be the fastest opening lap. Ooh, Lucas lap 2 a 16-1. Trouble for BG there. Okay, we got Lucas going 16-0, getting faster and faster. Right now, Lucas currently on a 23-lap pace. Got Pat 22-11, Steve 21-08, Brian 20 at the moment, Anthony 19 at the moment. Those paces will improve as the run continues on. Minute 20 down, 4:40 left right now. Lucas out front, 23-15 in the works. Lucas going 15-9 that time by. $135 down, 4:25 remains. Right now it's Lucas out front, 2.5 ahead of Pat. Got Pat 3.8 ahead of Steve. Steve 3 seconds ahead of Brian, and Brian 7 ahead of Anthony. Minute 50 down, 4:10 to go. Two minutes in, 4 minutes remaining. Fastest lap so far, a 15-9. Out of both Lucas and Steve. Got 16-0 for Brian, a 16-4 for Pat, and a 17-1 for Anthony. Oh, Steve that time by going 15-8. Yeah, 2:20 down, 3:40 left, drivers. All right, 2:30 in, 3:30 remains. Lucas, Pat, Steve, Brian, and Anthony, your full running order. Anthony bringing fast lap down to a 16-6. Pat going 16-3. A couple of our drivers setting new PRs. Yeah, 3:45 down. Sorry, 2:45 down. All right, Lucas 4.5 ahead of Pat. We got Pat 2.7 ahead of Steve. Steve 6.4 ahead of Brian. Brian 6.2 ahead of Anthony. Yeah, Lucas 23-13. Pat 22-07. Steve 22-15. Brian 21-08. Anthony 20-05. All right, 2:35 remaining, drivers. Lucas is now 5 seconds up on Pat. Pat 2.6 ahead of Steve. Steve 6 ahead of Brian. Brian 10 ahead of Anthony. Yeah, 2:15 remaining, drivers.
Two minutes left.
All right, 2 minutes to go. Lucas, Pat, Steve, Brian, Anthony still your running order. So Lucas now 23:14, Pat 22:08, Steve 22:09, Brian 21:01, Anthony 21:17. Got a minute 35 to go, drivers. BG going 16:0 that time by. Minute 20 remains here. Another 16:0 for BG. So Lucas currently 8 seconds up on Steve. Steve 2.5 ahead of Pat. Pat 3 seconds ahead of BG. BG 15 ahead of Anthony. We got 5 minutes down, drivers.
1 minute left.
55 seconds remain. .45 seconds to go. Lucas 23:14, Pat 22:11, Steve 22:12, Brian 22:13, Anthony 21:17. Let's see this time around. Closest battle can be 2 through 4. So I got Pat 2/10 ahead of Steve, Steve 8/10 ahead of Brian. So this 2 through 4 battle going to come down to the end. Trouble on the back straight. Go wide, wide, wide. All right, folks, got 10 seconds to go. Trouble in the chicane, 2 down.
Patrick Brill done. Steve Lung done. Anthony Zachiglowski done.
Wow. Wow. I'll tell you guys the story once it's
Lucas Zachiglowski
over.
done.
My car's still on the clock. You're still on the clock, Brian. Oh,
All drivers are finished.
that's one way to do it.
Rice Cake Supreme
So it's going to be
done.
Lucas going 23:13. Brian snuck around for the 22nd lap. That'll put him in the 2 spot. Pat going 21 flat. Steve 21:01. Anthony 20:03. All right, next race up going to be Omar, George, Kevin, Andrew, and Bryant.
George Lynn. Andrew Newell. Kevin Allen.
Oh, yeah, there's Omar's new number.
Omar Manan Salsa.
If you're wondering why Omar hasn't been answering, he did change his number. All right, I may need a little help out here, please. Cool, thank you, Anthony. All right, got a little Sammy playing. I am a fan of Van Hagar. Fight me. David Lee, he was all right, but I don't know. I'm more of a Hagar fan. All right, I may need a little help on the West Coast. I may need Marshall to... Okay, cool. We got Lucas on his way. All right, folks. We're just about ready to get this show on the road. This is race number 4. Actually, Lucas, can I get you in the middle, maybe? Like the yeah, middle left. The Midwest, if you will. Which sparks a whole nother topic of conversation. But we got to get to racing, so... So to elaborate, I think it's funny they call it the Midwest because it's not exactly middle and it's not exactly west. In fact, it's pretty far from west. All right, fastest opening lap, 15-1 from Mirafuente. Got Lynn a 16-0, Allen 16-1, Andrew 16-6, Omar 17-3. 35 seconds in. Oh, I felt that one. All right, so 2 laps in the books. Yeah, Kevin Allen out front, driving that white and yellow ride. Noel up to the 2. Manan Sala now in the 2. So no Art Cardinale tonight, so I guess we're going to start the Let's Go Omar movement. Shake it off, Omar. You got this. Minute 20 down, 4:40 to go. Right now, Kevin Allen out front, 23:15 in the works. Got George 22:02, Andrew 22:10, Bryant to 21:03, and Omar 21:04. Bryant just set fastest lap of the race, 14:09. Minute 45 in, 4:15 to go. Kevin, George, Andrew, Bryant, and Omar. Kevin 1 second ahead of George. George 2 ahead of Andrew. Andrew now 1.9 ahead of Omar. Omar 1 ahead of Bryant. Wow, so fast lap being set at an out of this world 14:09 by Bryant Mirafonte. We got George Lynn going 15:5, Kevin 16:1, Andrew 16:1, and Omar 16:1. It's interesting seeing quite the delta on lap times with this layout. Quite a variance. You know, Kevin Allen right now, 15:9. That's pretty quick. But then you have Bryant Mirafonte with a 14:9. Hey, where did he gain that extra second? Got 250 down, 3:10 to go. Thankfully, races are up on YouTube and Facebook, so they're there for your analytics or viewing pleasure. Yeah, 3:05 down, 2:55 to go. So one observation I have made about Bryant's driving is he seems to have eliminated a whole phase of cornering. You know, a lot of times when you talk about cornering, you have corner entry, mid-corner, and corner exit. Bryant just gets in and gets out. There is no mid-corner. Got 2:25 to go, drivers. Right now, it's George Lynn out front, 23:08. Bryant to 23:13. Kevin to 23:14. Andrew, 22:06. Omar, 22:07. So we got 2 different battles going down. We got the 1-2-3 battle going on. We got the 4 and 5 battle going on. Andrew and Omar just half a second apart. Oh, keep it together, guys. Got bobbles from both Andrew and Omar that time by. Keep it together. Keep it smooth. 1:40 to go, drivers. George Lynn, 2 seconds ahead of Bryant. Got Bryant 2.8 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 6.7 ahead of Andrew. Ha. And we got Andrew 0.3 ahead of Omar. I should have just said 6.6. Got minute 15 to go, drivers. We got our first home run of the race. All right, just over a minute to go. George Lynn going 15-3. Way to be. All right, now George and Bryant just 0.2 of a second apart. 45 seconds left. George 23:06, Bryant 23:07, Kevin 23:12. Kevin going 15-6 that time by new PR. Got Omar 22.08, Andrew 21 flat, almost on a 22. Got 30 seconds remaining, drivers. Make it count. Bryant and George, now the gap, 0.02. Now it's up to 0.2. We'll see how this one finishes out. Right now it's advantage Goomba by 0.2 of a second. Five seconds left. George going 15.3 again that time around. Gap down to 0.1 of a second between those two drivers.
Goomba done. George Lynn done. Andrew Newell done. Omar Manan Salsa done. All drivers are finished.
Okay, that will
Kevin
conclude
Allen done.
round one of buggy. Yeah, Bryant going 23.04, George 23.05, Kevin 23.11, Omar going 22.08, Andrew a 21.02. All right, folks, we are now moving into truck. Got a truck, you're in luck. It's time to truck around.
Loctite Milio. Patrick Brill. George Laxon.
All right, this is truck, Truck.
David Newell. Rice Cake
All right, may
Supreme.
need all drivers from that last race to come on out in turn marshal. Need a little help out west. All right, believe I got all my marshals now. Okay, everybody's in position. Trucks are circling the track, so we are going to go live loop. Careful exiting the rhythm. That is clear. Whoa. All right, BG 16.3. Yeah, Pat going 16.7. Everybody else a little bit of rough luck on the opening lap. So it's going to be BG out front. All right, BG going 16.9 on the second pass. Right now he holds a 0.7 of a second lead on Pat Brill. Yeah, Pat 3.5 ahead of Dave. Dave 1.4 ahead of John. John 1.4 ahead of George. Minute 5 down, 4:55 remains. Careful getting onto the straight. That is clear. All right, Brian Gross, 1.9 ahead of Pat. Pat, 5.9 ahead of Dave. Dave, wow. Dave and George were 0.05 apart. Now it's going to be Laxon 1 second ahead of Noel. And Noel just half a second ahead of Emilio. Minute 40 down. BG on a 22.07. Now Pat 21 flat. George a 20.16. Dave almost on a 20. And John 19.09. All right, drivers coming up on 2 minutes down, 4 minutes remaining. BG now 2.5 ahead of Pat. Pat 10 ahead of George. George 1 ahead of Dave. Dave 2.4 ahead of John. Yeah, 2:15 in, 3:45 left. $2.30 down, $3.30 to go. All right, 2:50 and 3:10 remaining. BG setting fast lap, 16.2. Right now his pace at 22.06. Pat going 21.03. George at 20.06. Dave at 20.11. John at 19.06. We're just under 3 minutes to go now, drivers. Okay, upon the conclusion of this one, we will take just a few minutes, and we'll get right back into round number 2. Round 2 projected start time, about 7:20. So if you're in race 1, you're looking at about 7:20 for a start time. 2:15 remaining, drivers. Careful in the rhythm. Go inside. Go inside. That is clear. 4 minutes in.
2 minutes left.
BG 22.05. Pat going 21.03. Dave at 20.08. George at 20.13. John at 19.06. $1:45 remaining. Brian 9 ahead of Pat. Pat 13 ahead of Dave. Dave 4.5 ahead of George. And George 8.3 ahead of John. Got 1:30 to go, drivers. 90 seconds remain. Minute 15 to go. Brian, Pat, Dave, George, and John, your full running order.
One minute left.
You heard the man. 1 minute to go. BG resetting fast lap, 16.1. So BG currently 10 ahead of Pat. Pat 22 ahead of Dave. Dave 0.09 ahead of George. George 5.6 ahead of John. Yeah, Brian 22.09. Pat 21.04. George 20.13. Dave 20.14. John almost on the 20. 30 seconds left. You sound like me up there, Dave. Oh, oh! Almost a home run there. I was kind of rooting for you to make it over the fence.
George Laxon done. Rice Cakes Supreme done. Loctite Milio done. Patrick Brill done.
One more truck.
All drivers are
All right,
finished.
that'll be a race, guys. BG
David Moore done.
2210, Pat 2109, George 2012, Dave 2018, John 1904. All right, folks, just take a few minutes here, and we'll get round 2 on track. Give you guys about 2.5 minutes.
David Newell. $27.7. $22.2. $21.4.
All right, folks, we're going to start calling up race 1. We got Heath out here ready to go.
18.4.
Race number 1 going to be Cody, Sean, Rich, Heath, and Alan. Turn marshals will be my truck group.
TH.
Hey Heath, are you using one of those red transponders? Let's swap it out. I think the battery died. So if I can get someone to help Heath out with that,
Cody Kirk.
the white car, we need to do a little transponder swap.
Rich Bride.
All right, let's get all of our truck guys out to the track, please. Need a little help on the West Coast. Got one down in the chicane.
Alan Rodil.
All right, may need a little help out on the West Coast. I may need another marshal over on the left.
Heath Kim.
All right, I may need one more marshal on the left side, guys. I should have Brian, Pat, George, Dave, and John. Yeah. Okay, did you educate him on that? So how's it secured right now? Yeah, let's take a quick look at that real quick, just real quick. All right, just a sec, guys. Getting things straightened out. All of our newer racers learning stuff.
Yeah. Watch out. Whoa!
Oh. All right, just a second. We're making sure his transponder is secure. And once that process is complete, we'll get this race on the road. All right, folks, let's get all cars lined up on the right side of the course. Our starting order for round 2 will be Cody, Sean, Rich, Heath, and Alan. You guys will go one by one as your name is called. Make sure you're at least 6 feet back from the start-finish line. Yep, everybody in the corner looking good. All right, folks, we're going to go with Cody on the tone. Sean, Rich, Heath, and Alan. All right, everybody's being scored. All right, 30 seconds down. Sean Torres, fastest opening lap going 18.1. Cody in 18.6. Rich 20.2. Alan 20.6. Yeah, 40 seconds in. Drivers, careful at the wall ride. Be careful at the wall ride. $50 seconds in, drivers. Right now, we got our racers working on lap number 3. Right now, Sean, Cody, Alan, Rich, and Heath, your full running order. Buck 15 down, 4:45 remaining. All right, we got Sean out front, 19.10 for pace. Got Cody, 18.03. Rich, 18.10. Alan on a 17. And we got Heath almost on a 15. Got a minute 40 down, drivers. Sean going 18.0 that time by. Got Cody going 18.6. Rich at 19.6. Heath at 19.8. Alan at 20 flat. Minute 50 down. 4:10 to go. Careful at the wall ride. Go wide at the wall ride. That is clear. Prior to that incident, Sean going 17.9, resetting fast lap. Sean, Cody, Rich, Alan, Heath, your full running order here. Got 2:20 down, 3:40 to go. All right, 2:30 down, 3:30 left. Right now, Sean, 19.09. Cody, 18.04. Alan, 17.01. Rich, 17.11. Heath, 16.20. Got 3:15 remaining, drivers. This is our first heat of buggy on track. Round number 2. 3 minutes down, 3 minutes to go. At this juncture, we got Sean 7 seconds up on Cody. Cody 13 ahead of Alan. Alan 5 ahead of Rich, and Rich 10 ahead of Heath. Got 2:45 remaining, drivers. Careful up front. Front double, be careful. And that is clear. 2:40 remains. Sean, Cody, Alan, Rich, and Heath, your running order here. 2:30 left. Careful in the rhythm section. 2 down in the rhythm. Be careful. That is clear. Ah, trouble for Rich. Got 2:10 remaining, drivers. We're just about 4 minutes down.
2 minutes left.
So Sean currently 17 ahead of Cody. Cody 10 ahead of Alan. And let's see. Let's see what the gap between Alan and Heath is next time they cross the line. Got 1:45 remaining. And it looks like Rich might be back on the road. Maybe? Oh. Careful up front, guys. Careful up front. 1:30 remains, 90 seconds left. All right, in case you guys haven't heard, B71s are on the way. Team Associated's latest and greatest race buggy. B71s are on the way. 1:10 to go. Although if you
1 minute
just
left.
got a B7 or are not ready to get rid of your B7, then you can absolutely upgrade your car to the new specification. All parts are compatible. 45 seconds remaining. Right now, Sean, Cody, Alan, Heath. Sean 19:01, Cody 18:04, Alan 17:12, Heath a 16:15. 35 seconds remain, drivers. 25 seconds left. Got Sean going 17-8 that time. Go wide on the straight, wide on the straight. Oh, Sean improving to a 17-6. Got Cody 18-0. Got Alan a 19-5. Heath also 19-5. Time about to expire, drivers. Keep on going. Do not stop yet. Keep going. Keep going.
TH done. Heath Kim done. Cody Kirk done. All drivers are finished.
All right, that will be a race. Sean Torres taking the W here in round number 2, going 20-17. Yeah, Cody a 19-23, Alan a 17-16. He's going 16 laps. All right, folks, I'm going to need you all to set your cars down and come on out to turn marshal, please. Up next is race number 2. All right, this one is going to be George, John, Joe, Chloe, and Martin. Turn marshals will be my drivers from the
Joe
previous group.
Colicchio. Rice Cakes Jr. Martin Arroyo. Loctite Milio.
All right, I may need all drivers from that last group. I'm going to need the help of Sean, Cody, Alan, Heath,
George
and Rich.
Lapson.
We need all you guys out here, please. All right, looking for 2 more marshals. Looking for 2 more. All right, if I can get you guys kind of over on this side, please. All right, starting lineup for this qualifier is going to be George 1, John 2, Joe 3, Chloe 4, and Martin 5. Get this party started here. George on the tone. John, Joe, Chloe, Martin. All right, we got everybody on the clock here. First lap. Got John a 16.9, Joe 17.3, George 17.8, Chloe an 18, and Martin a 19.1. 30 seconds in, drivers. All right, John Melio out front. Currently 0.6 ahead of George. George 1.6 ahead of Joe. Joe 0.2 ahead of Chloe. Chloe 0.3 ahead of Martin. 55 in. Oh, John making the move there. All right, drivers got minute 10 down, 4:50 to go. Melio, Laxon, Colicchio, Gross, and Arroyo, your full running order. Got John out front, 21.02, George at 21.11, Joe 21.17, Martin 20.07, Chloe 20.09. Minute 35 down, 4:25 remains. Melio improving fast lap to a 16.6. Now Laxon 17.2, Martin 17.5. Got Joe 17.3 and Chloe an 18.0. All right, 2:05 down, 3:55 remains. Oh, we got one out of the park. 2:25 in, 3:35 to go. Melio continues to lead, but that's going to put Colicchio up to the 2 spot. Go. 3:20 remains, drivers. Right now, John 21.06, Joe 21.17, Martin also 21.17, George 20.04, and Chloe 19.08. All right, folks, we are now 3 minutes in. 3 minutes to go. All right, John 5.6 ahead of Joe. Joe 1.8 ahead of George. Got George 0.1 ahead of Martin. And Martin 9 ahead of Chloe. 2:45 remains. John going 16.6 that time by. George going 16.9. 2:35 remaining, drivers. Careful exiting the rhythm. All right, that is clear. We got 2:25 remaining. Careful entering the straight. Looks to be clear. So 2:15 to go. Got John 21.13, Joe 21.15, George a 20 flat, Martin a 20.03, Chloe 19.08. Okay, folks, we are now 4 minutes down.
2 minutes left.
So we got John 1.6 ahead of Joe. Joe 2.4 ahead of George. George 2.6 ahead of Martin. And Martin about 11 up on Chloe. Minute 45 remaining here. Minute 30 to go. Melio 21.10. He is driving the white, orange, and blue. right, 1:10 remains, 70 seconds to go. All right, now Emilio's pace at 21:10. Got
1 minute
Joe at
left.
21:13. George at 21:17. Martin 20:03. And Chloe 19:06. 50 seconds remains, drivers. Got race number 3 up next. Be ready to go. Twenty-five seconds left. All right, folks, less than 10 seconds to go on the clock. Keep on driving, keep on going. Do not stop early.
Rice Cakes Jr. done. Loctite Milio done. Martin Arroyo done. George Laxon done.
All right, one more car, and
All
that
drivers
will
are
be
finished.
a race, drivers.
Joe Collecchio
Got John
done.
going 21:06. Joe 21:12. George 21:14. Martin 20 flat. Chloe 19:01. All right, folks, I am going to need you all to set your cars down and come on out to turn marshal, please. Race number 3 going to be Lucas, Brian, Pat, Steve, and Anthony. This is heat number 3, round number 2.
Patrick Brill. Steve Loom. Lucas Zachiglowski. Anthony Zachiglowski.
Careful in the rhythm section. Got one down the rhythm right in the middle.
Rice Cakes Supreme.
Okay, we got everybody checked in. All right, so our starting order for this one is going to be Lucas 1, Brian 2, Pat 3, Steve 4, and Anthony 5. We will get this show going with Lucas on the tone. Brian, Pat, Steve, and Anthony. Careful up front, guys. Careful up front. 20 seconds into this race, and we got Lucas going fastest opening lap, 16.2. Brian a 16.3. Steve 16.5. Anthony 17.6, and Pat 19.5. .45 in, 5:15 to go. Right now it's Lucas out front. 2 laps in the books. Lucas, Brian, Steve, Anthony, and Pat, your 4 running order so far. And I got everybody in this run group 16, 9, or faster so far. 105 down, 4:55 to go. Lucas on a 23 lopper. Got Brian 22:04, Steve 22:04. Pat going 21:07, Anthony 20:04. 120 down, 4:40 remains, drivers. Lucas currently 1 second ahead of Brian. Brian 0.4 ahead of Steve. Steve 3.8 ahead of Pat, and Pat 1.9 ahead of Anthony. Got minute 35 down, 4:25 remaining. Lucas, Brian, Steve, Pat, Anthony. 1:45 down and 4:15 to go. Lucas 1.2 ahead of Brian. Brian 0.4 ahead of Steve. Steve 4.6 ahead of Pat. Pat 6.9 ahead of Anthony. .215 down, 3:45 left. Lucas out front, 1.7 ahead of Brian. Lucas's pace currently 23:14. So Lucas in round one won a 23:13. So Lucas's pace very, very close to where it was last round. Yeah, BG currently at 22:02, which would improve over round one's time. Steve also on a run that would improve over round one, 22:11. Pat currently 22:14, which would improve as well. Anthony right now 1 second off of his round one time. Round one he won a 20:03. Right now he's on a 20:04. Got 3:10 down, 2:50 to go, drivers, just past halfway. Lucas 2.5 ahead of Brian. Brian 4.7 ahead of Steve. Steve 1.7 ahead of Pat. And Pat 10 ahead of Anthony. 2:35 remains, drivers. .225 to go. Lucas, Brian, Steve, Pat, and Anthony, your full order. Lucas going 15:9 that time by.
Two minutes left.
4 down and 2 to go. Anthony going 16:5 that time by. That's his best lap. A minute 40 remaining here, drivers. Lucas 23:13, Brian 22:04, Steve 22:11, Pat 22:13, Anthony 20:05. Got a minute 30 to go, drivers. Minute 20 remains. Oh, Lucas now 3.5 ahead of Brian. Brian 7 ahead of Steve. 5 minutes
1
in.
minute left.
Steve 0.8 ahead of Pat. That's our closest battle on track, Steve and Pat. Got 45 seconds remaining, drivers. That battle remains close. So Steve now 0.017 ahead of Pat. That is our closest battle on track for the 3 spot. 30 seconds left, drivers. .25 seconds remain. Lucas 3.5 ahead of Brian. Brian 12 ahead of Pat. Pat 0.9 ahead of Steve. Steve about a lap up on Anthony. Lucas going 15:8 that last time by. New PR for this round. 5 seconds left, drivers.
Rice Cakes Supreme done. Steve Lung done. Anthony Zachiglowski done.
Careful into the straight, guys.
Lucas Zachiglowski done.
One more car.
All drivers are finished.
That will be a race. It's
Patrick
going to be
Brill
Lucas
done.
taking that one 23:15. Got Brian 22:03, Pat 22:16, Steve 21:01, and Anthony 20:01. All right, folks, I need you to set those cars down. Come on out to turn marshal. Up next is race number 4. All right, this one's going to be Bryant, George, Kevin, Omar, and Andrew.
George Lynn. Kevin Allen. Andrew Newell. Omar Manan Salsa. Goompa.
All right, let's get our drivers from that last one out on track. Get one more to the left side. We'll be good to go. All right, starting lineup for this qualifier will be Bryant 1, George 2, Kevin 3, Omar 4, Andrew 5. All right, folks, we'll get this party going with Bryant on the tone. George, Kevin, Omar, and Andrew. We are off. So Brian going to start this one off with a 14-9. George going 15-2. Kevin 16-3. Omar 16-4. Andrew 17-0. Oh, trouble for your leader there. That's going to put George out front. Oh, we got George Lynn out front. So right now, George, 2 laps in the books. Now 3 laps in the books on a 24-lap pace. Got Bryant currently 23:06, Kevin 23:11, Omar 23:16, Andrew 21:05. Got 105 down, 4:55 to go. So, I don't know, I've only done, 2 or 3 runs on this track so far. I'm kind of on the fence about whipping the front double. I almost feel like it's faster not to whip the front double. But maybe I just suck. I don't know. To whip or not to whip? I'm in at 40 down. Right now it's Mirafuente 24:14. Lynn 23:02. Kevin 23:10. Omar 23:15. Andrew 22:08. Minute 55 down, 4:05 remaining. Right now, Bryant 24:12 for pace. Got George 23:06, Kevin 23:11, Omar 22:04, Andrew 22:05. That's interesting. I'm definitely taking that front double more like George Lynn. I might need to incorporate a little bit more Bryant Mirafuente into it to see what happens. Bryant didn't whip that time. Very quick to the ground. The study continues. 3 minutes in, 3 minutes to go. Bryant 24-10, George 23-04, Kevin 23-08. Lucky bounce for Mirafonte there. Yeah, 2:50 to go. Bryant 24-11, George 23-03, Kevin 23-08, Andrew 22-04, Omar 22-05. Yeah, that rhythm section, without a question, I feel like whipping there is faster. 2:20 remains, drivers. Bryant currently 4 seconds ahead of George. George 5 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 5.9 ahead of Omar. Omar 2.2 ahead of Andrew. Oh, Bryant, another lucky bounce.
2 minutes left.
It's interesting. Yeah, Bryant's taking a bit of a wider approach to that front double and throwing down some whip. George keeping it rather tight on entry. No whip, but getting that car down very quickly. Interesting seeing the differing approaches. Minute 35 remaining. All right, now Bryant 24-11, George 23-01, Kevin. Oh, careful up front, guys. Minute 20 to go. Wow, this time by Bryant, just 3/10 ahead of George now. All right, folks, we got 5 minutes down.
1 minute left.
Bryant going 14-8 that time by. Georgia 15-2. "45 seconds remain. "30 seconds to go. Bryant 1.4 ahead of George now. George 8 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 8 ahead of Omar. Omar 3.8 ahead of Andrew. Got 20 seconds remaining, drivers. Up next is Truck. 0.9 the gap between your leaders now. Both these guys on faster than opening round TQ pace. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
George Lynn done.
I guess unless you're George. George getting caught at the line.
Omar Manan Salsa done.
Bryant on a victory
Kevin Allen
lap
done.
here. This is going to net him
Goga
TQ.
done.
One more car.
All drivers are finished.
All right, I'll be Bryant
Andrew
taking
Rule
down TQ 24-16. We got George 23 flat, Kevin 23-10, Omar 22-04, Andrew 22-15. All right, folks, Stadium Truck, you are up.
Loctite Milio.
All right, careful on the right, guys. Careful on the right side. Truck down. All right, I may need my drivers from that last one. I may need your help.
David Newell. George Laxon.
All right, folks, looking about an 8-10 start for the main events. 8-10.
Patrick Brill. Rice Cakes Supreme.
All right, this is Truck on Track. All right, folks, let's start lining them up. Our starting order, give me Brian 1, Pat 2, George 3, Dave 4, and John 5. Okay, grid is, well, everyone's in the right spot. So, we're going with Brian on the tone. Pat, George, Dave, and John. That stadium truck on the road. Opening lap got BG a 16.6, Pat 17.3, John 17.7, George 18, and Dave a 20. BG lap 2 a 16.1, Pat going 16.9, Emilio 17.5, Laxton 18.1, and Noah 17.0. 50 seconds in, drivers, 5:10 remaining. And BG going 15.9. Yeah. Got BG now on a 22.04 pace. Got Pat 22.16. John 21.13. Dave up. George 21.17. Dave also now 21.17. So BG 2 up on Pat. Pat 2.9 ahead of John. John 0.7 ahead of Dave. And Dave 0.04 ahead of George. Minute 30 down. Trouble there for your leader. How close Patrick is now. Might be your former leader now. We'll see as they cross the line. Yeah, minute 50 down, 4:10 to go. It's going to be Pat Brill taking over the top spot. 22.13 in the works. Got BG at the moment, 21 flat. John 21.14. Dave 20.06 and George at 20.14. Got 2:10 down, 3:50 remaining. $2.15 in, 3:45 remains. This time by Pat up by 0.3 of a second. Brian 5.7 ahead of John. John 3.5 ahead of Dave. Dave 2 ahead of George. And this time by BG to the front. 22.11. Got Pat 22.12. John 21.13. Dave at 20.03. George 20.08. 3:10 to go. Drivers almost halfway through. Looks like we are down to 4 trucks. At 2:50 remaining. Pat 22.13, trouble in the middle. So race leader run that white and yellow truck. 3:25 down, 2:35 to go. And BG back on the road again. We'll have to ask him where it all went wrong in the post-race interview. 2:20 remains. Right now, Pat 22.16, George on a 20.03. Got John 20.06, and Dave with battle 2 through 4. George, John,
2
and
minutes
Dave.
left.
Minute 50 remains, drivers. Careful back straight. That is clear. Minute 35 to go. Got Pat 18 ahead of George. George 4 ahead of John. John 1 ahead of Dave. Now it's Dave 2.5 ahead of John. Minute 25 remaining. Buck 15 to go. 75 seconds remain. All right, a minute 7 remaining. That's 7 seconds for the kids out there. 1 minute
1
to
minute
go.
left.
Pat 18 ahead of George. George 4.5 ahead of Dave. Dave 1.4 ahead of John. Got Patrick on 21:01. George 20:06. Dave at 20:12. John 20:13. Pat leading the way by quite the margin here. Race leader running the white, yellow, and orange. Looks like there's some blue in there. All right, we got George in the 2 spot. He's running Purple Rain, making his way through that rhythm section. Ten seconds left, drivers.
Patrick Brill done.
All right, Pat gonna finish 21:01.
George Laxon done. Rice Cakes Supreme done. David Newell done. All drivers are finished.
And that will be a race.
Loctite
Pat
Lilio
going
done.
21:01. George 20:05. John 20:11. Dave 20:12. Brian getting 19 with an unscheduled pit stop. All right, folks, I'm going to set up the mains, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so our main events are as follows. Our C group tonight going to be Martin, Anthony, Sean, Chloe, Cody, Rich, Alan, and Heath. Our B group going to be Andrew, Pat, Steve, John, George, Joe. Our A group going to be Bryant, George, Kevin, Lucas, Brian, and Omar. We will be taking one bump up from each lower main. And if you win buggy, you can race truck if you want. All right, so give you guys a few minutes here. Let's see. That's 8:08 now, so let's go 8:12 for target time on start. Give you guys like 3 or 4 minutes. It'll be Martin, Anthony, Sean, Chloe, Cody, Rich, Alan, and Heath. You'll be your first ones up. And if you are using a loaner transponder, Heath, make sure you swap it out for a freshly charged one. Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, so I'll officially start calling you guys up in just a few minutes. Don't use up too much battery. All right, let's start calling up race number 1. This one's going to be Martin, Anthony, Sean, Chloe, Cody, Rich, Alan, and Heath. All right, the winner of this one gets the race in the B main tonight.
Anthony Zachiglowski. Cody Kirk. Rich Bright. Heath Kim.
All right, I'm looking for my truck guys to marshal.
Rice Cakes Jr.
Looking for my truck drivers. Careful on the back straight, drivers. Careful on the back straight. Go wide. Careful on the back straight. Go wide. Careful on the back straight. Okay, that is clear.
Martin Arroyo. TH.
All right. Turn marshal's going to be Brian, Pat, George, John, and Dave. I'm going to need your help, guys. All right, I need one more on the left side. Need one more turn marshal on the left. I was about to say, Dave, if you're working on cars, you can always send Andrew out here. He's thinking, that's not a bad idea. Oh, what? Oh. Ah, man. It's all fun and games until someone breaks an arm. Well, looks like we were down one car, unfortunately. So we're going to line them up. It is going to be Martin on the 1, Anthony 2, Sean 3, Chloe 4, Cody 5, Rich 6, and we'll get Heath on the 7. I still need one more on the left side. All right, thank you, sir. All right, get Martin 1, Anthony 2, Sean 3, Chloe 4, Cody 5, Rich 6. All right, Heath 7, good stuff. We are on the grid. Drivers ready. We are going racing in less than 5. Long race ahead, drivers. You know what? No? No? Okay. Okay. Oh, careful at the wall ride. So this is going to be Martin out front. Down the back straight he goes. Oh, Martin out front. Chloe 2 followed by Anthony. Careful back straight. Go wide. 50 seconds in. 5:10 to go, drivers. Yeah, Martin out front. 1.9 ahead of Anthony. Anthony 4 ahead of Chloe. Chloe 1 ahead of Cody. Cody 1.4, no, 4.3 ahead of Rich now. Rich 0.9 ahead of Sean. And Sean 6 seconds up on Heath. Got 4:45 remaining, drivers. Top 2 cars through the rhythm section. Oh. Anthony getting a bit of a bounce there. Got 125 in, 4:35 to go. Anthony, your dad's saying wait. Your dad's saying wait. Oh, something happened to that car. A little bit mayhem ensuing. Keep it together, drivers. Keep it together. So it's going to be Gross taking over the top spot, followed by Anthony and Martin. Oh, Anthony now taking over the top spot. So gold car followed by a silver car, followed by the silver and purple. That's our lead battle down the back straight. 2:15 down, 3:45 left. Leaders are approaching traffic. Careful on the rhythm. All right, coast is clear. The race leaders about to make their way down the back straight. Gold followed by silver and purple. Oh, careful in the rhythm. Oh, careful on the right, drivers. That's going to tighten up the battle for the top spot once again. 2:50 down, 3:10 to go. Almost halfway through. The leader getting caught up on the lap car. Yeah, a little bit of mayhem in the middle. That puts Martin back out front. All right, got leaders making their way through traffic, guys. So leader now is going to be silver, purple. Second place, gold. Third place, silver. So if you see any of those cars, just give them a little bit of room. Oh, take it easy. Once again, leaders, silver, purple, gold, and all silver. If you see any of those cars, just give them some room. 3:30 down, 2:30 to go. Anthony going 16.9. I believe that. Actually, that's tied for fast lap. Got Martin going 16.9 in this race as well, but trouble for Martin on this lap. That's going to put Anthony back to the front. Anthony looking to make the B main here. 4 minutes down, drivers.
2 minutes left.
All right, now Anthony trying to pull away. He is running as fast as he can. Whoa, BG with the catch. Whoa, fielding that car like a FedEx package. Minute 45 remaining. Careful in the rhythm, guys. Careful in the rhythm. Be careful in the rhythm section. So Anthony getting it wrong. Oh, careful. Back straight. Go wide. Go wide on the back straight. Minute 29 remains. This time around, Anthony 5 ahead of Martin. Martin 7 ahead of Chloe. Chloe about 20 ahead of Cody. Cody 9 ahead of Heath. And Heath 5 ahead of Rich. Got minute 10 to go, drivers. Oh, careful at the end of the straightaway. Go inside. Keep it tight. End of the straight.
1 minute
Oh, in
left.
the middle, in the middle. One down in the middle. All right, folks, 55 seconds to go. Gold car's your leader. Actually, purple and silver now your leader. That's the battle out front. Purple and silver versus gold. 45 remaining. Can Martin hang on? Will Anthony catch him? We'll find out in about 35 seconds. Gap between those two drivers now 1.4. Anthony about 3.8 ahead of Chloe. You got 20 seconds to go, drivers.
Come on, Martin.
Oh, Martin going a little wide. 15 seconds left. They make their way down the back straightaway. What'll happen here? 10 seconds to go. They might not get by for one more lap. Oh, little short there for Anthony. Martin living on the edge. Just 2 corners to go. And
Martin Arroyo
it is going to be Martin
Rich
Arroyo
Bright done.
taking down the
Anthony
victory
Zachiglowski
and the
done.
bump up to the B
Bryce
main
Cakes
event.
Jr. done. Cody Kirk done. All drivers are finished.
All right, that was a
Kim done.
battle. We got Martin taking the victory. Podium for this race will be Anthony, Chloe, and Cody. Anthony, Chloe, Cody, please make your way to the podium. All right, up next is going to be our B main event.
Andrew Newell. Joe Colicchio. Steve Lowe. Loctite Milio. Patrick Brill.
Podium. All right, looking for a few more cars to get checked in here. I'm looking for George, and I'm looking for Martin. Also going to need some turn marshals here. All right, so we got 3 of them taking a podium picture, but can I get Heath, Rich, Sean, and Alan? Cool, thank you guys. Now we'll get the rest of the podium group up here as soon as they are done with those proceedings. Okay, got my turn marshals out here. Martin, are you going to make this one?
Alright, you got 1 week.
There we go. All right, there he is.
I'm not gonna be here next week.
I'm gonna get you this year,
Martin Arroyo.
at least once.
Alright, improve it.
Okay, our starting lineup is going to be Andrew 1, Pat 2, Steve 3, John 4, George 5, Joe 6, Martin 7.
George Laxson.
Oh, really?
And
Out of all problems.
my terminal on my battery popped off.
All right, grid is set. Drivers, best of luck. Winner goes on to the A-Main, and we'll be racing in less than 5. Here we go. All right, it's Noel to the front. 15 seconds in. 3-car lead breakaway. That is Andrew, followed by Pat, followed by Steve. Yeah, George wanted to be part of that lead breakaway. Trouble in the middle, guys. Trouble in the middle. Oh, it's going to be Andrew Knoll now, all by himself out front. Got Laxton up to the 2, Emilio 3, followed by Joe. And we got Martin, Pat, and Steve. Just 50 seconds in, long race ahead. Race leader through a rhythm. Trouble at the rhythm section for your leader. That's going to close the gap between Andrew and George. 110 down, 450 to go. Right now it's Noel out front, 1.5 ahead of Laxton. Laxton 3.4 ahead of Emilio. Emilio 0.4 ahead of Colicchio. Oh, and behind him it's a hornet's nest. Yeah, 130 down, 430 to go. Andrew Knoll out front. 2.6 now ahead of Laxton. Laxton just ahead of Emilio now. Whoa. Yeah, a minute 45 down, 4:15 to go. Laxton now just 0.2 ahead of Emilio. That battle for the 2 spot. Meanwhile, Andrew Knoll has set sail. He is now 7 seconds up the road. All right, we are now 2 minutes in, 4 minutes remaining. So we got Noel, Laxton, Emilio, Burl, Leon, Colicchio, and Arroyo, your full running order. Andrew 7 ahead of George. George 0.3 ahead of John. John 2.1 ahead of Pat. Pat 0.4 ahead of Steve. Steve 1.8 ahead of Joe. And Joe 1.8 ahead of Martin. Got 230 down, 330 to go. Andrew Knoll now up by 8 seconds. Orange and white car is your race leader. Got Purple Rain in the 2 spot. Emilio right behind him, running the orange, blue, and white. A little slicing and dicing there. Steve and Pat doing battle. Got 2:55 remaining here. Noel 10 seconds up on Laxton now. Laxton 0.2 ahead of Emilio. Trouble for Emilio in the middle. Yeah, 330 down, 230 to go. Right now, it is Andrew 11 ahead of George. George 1.1 ahead of John. And now it's going to be, yeah, okay, George taking it back. 2:15 remaining. Down the back straight goes your race leader. Leader's actually coming up on the battle for the top 5.
2 minutes left.
Oh, Andrew, George, John, Steve, Pat, Joe, and Martin, your full order. Minute 50 remains. Andrew up by quite the margin. George 1.3 ahead of John. John 3 ahead of Steve. Steve 1.6 ahead of Pat. Pat 2.6 ahead of Joe. And Joe a lap up on Martin. Minute 30 remaining, drivers. 90 seconds to go. Closest battle right now looks to be George and John. They are now 2.3 apart. Actually, Steve now just 0.8 behind John. That'll be your closest battle here. Oh, race leader getting caught up. Just over a minute to go, drivers.
1 minute left.
Andrew, George, John, Steve, Pat, Joe, and Martin, your full running order. So John, Steve, and Pat, that's your closest battle mid-pack. Actually, George, John, Steve, and Pat. Yeah, George 1.3 ahead of John. John 0.4 ahead of Steve. Steve 1.7 ahead of Pat. Yeah, 30 seconds to go, drivers. "20 seconds remain. "15 seconds to go. Oh, careful on the back straight, back straight, back straight. Be careful on the back straight. Time about to expire here.
Joe Colicchio done. George Laxton done. Loctite Milio done. Andrew Knoll done. Patrick Brill done.
Two more. All right,
Martin
Uno
Arroyo
Mas.
done.
And that'll be a race, guys. So Andrew Knoll earns the bump up to the main event. Podium going to be George, John, and Pat. George, John, Pat, grab your cars and head to the podium. Got Purple Rain bringing the purple pain. All right, race number 3. Brian, George, Kevin, Lucas, Brian, Omar, and Andrew. Got the youngest member of Knoll and Son Motorsports representing Team Andrew in the main event tonight.
Lucas Sichiglowski.
Okay,
Omar Manan Salsa.
this is our A main event of Buggy.
Kevin Allen. George Lynn. Rice Cake Supreme. Gunther.
Careful on the right, careful on the right. If I can get my drivers from that last group out to the track at this time, I'm going to need a little bit of help. It is going to be George, John, Pat, Steve, Joe, and Martin. I'm going to need your help, guys.
Andrew Knoll.
All right, grid is going to be Bryant 1, George 2, Kevin 3, Lucas 4, Brian 5, Omar 6, and Andrew on the 7. Okay, grid is set. Drivers, best of luck. We are going racing in less than 5. Here we go. Mirfuente flips it. That's going to put Lynn out front. All right, down the back straight they go. Yeah, 25 seconds down. George Lynn out front, being shadowed by Bryant. For some reason, George's transponder not transponding, but we'll get that taken care of. A little mix up there between your now former race leaders. So that's going to put Kevin Allen out front. All right, we're 55 seconds in, 5:05 to go. Allen followed by Gross and Lynn, then Mirafuente, got Lucas, then Andrew, then Omar. Oh, careful, back straight, guys, back straight. Be careful. All right, a minute 20 down, 4:40 left. Careful, back straight, back straight. That's going to be George Lynn now back to the front. George Lynn followed by Bryant Mirafuente, followed very closely by Bryant Mirafuente. Buck 40 down the back straight they go. Bryant wins the drag race, pulling off the slingshot maneuver. Mirafuente out front, Lynn in the 2. Then we got Allen, followed by Lucas, Brian, Andrew, and Omar. 2 minutes down, 4 minutes to go, drivers. Brian going 15-0 that time by. He is now 0.8 ahead of George. George 2.2 ahead of Kevin. That looks a lot slimmer now. This time around, it's going to be George 0.9 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 1.6 ahead of Brian. Brian 0.7 ahead of Andrew. Andrew 1.7 ahead of Omar. All right, 2:30 down, 3:30 to go. Oh, Bryant out front. This time around, we got Bryant clocking in 4.7 ahead of George. Got George 2.5 ahead of Kevin. Kevin 0.7 ahead of Brian. Got Brian 1 second ahead of Andrew. Andrew 2.7 ahead of Omar. And Omar 0.2 ahead of Lucas. Got 2:55 remaining here. Oh, trouble in the middle, trouble in the middle. George going for a flip, and that will knock him back to the 5 spot. Meanwhile, Mirafuente continuing to pull away. She's getting smaller and smaller in the windshield. Yeah, 2:30 remaining, drivers. Real battle right now, 2 through 5. That's going to be Kevin, Brian, Andrew, George. Hottest battle on track right now. A little trouble for Brian, a little trouble for Andrew. All right, 2:10 remains. Bryant now 7 seconds up on Kevin, who is 0.7 ahead of George. George 2 seconds ahead of Andrew. Andrew half a second ahead of Brian. Brian 2.9 ahead of Omar, and Omar 4.6 ahead of Lucas. Yeah, minute 50 to go, drivers. So Kevin and George closest battle on track. Andrew and Brian also doing battle. Minute 35 to go. All right, they make their way through the rhythm section. It's going to be yellow and white versus orange for the 2 spot. Down the back straight they go. George putting the pressure on him until it's throwing off George's timing a bit. Got just over a minute to go, drivers. So 0.6 the gap between Kevin and George. George 2 ahead of Andrew. Andrew 1.2 ahead of Brian. Got 55 seconds to go, drivers. Meanwhile, Mirafuente now 10 seconds up on second place. George Lind now, your new second place car. Kevin right there on the back wing. 40 seconds remain, drivers. "30 seconds. "25 seconds to go. "10 seconds. So George 9/10 ahead of Kevin. Yeah, Kevin 9/10 ahead of Andrew, but Andrew's starting to gain some ground. Will they make it by?
Kevin Allen done.
They get caught the line.
Andrew Wool done. Goompa done. Rice Cakes Supreme done. Omar Manan Salsa done. Lucas Sichiglowski done.
All right, and
All
that
drivers
is
are
going to
finished.
be a race. Your
George Lind
podium
done.
for Buggy tonight going to be Bryant, George, and Kevin. Rest of the order will be Andrew, Brian, Omar, and Lucas. All right, we're now heading into the final race of the night. That is going to be truck. Truck going to be Brian, Pat, George, John, and Dave. All right, podium. Podium going to be Bryant, George, and Kevin.
Loctite Milio. Rice Cakes Supreme. Patrick Brill. George Laxon. David Newell.
All right, I could use one more Marshall in the middle. All right, so our starting lineup for truck tonight is going to be BG on the 1, Pat on the 2, George on the 3, John 4, and Dave 5. All right, grid is set. Drivers, best of luck. We are going racing in less than 5. Here we go. This is truck in motion. Oh. Yeah, 15 down. Oh, back straight, back straight. Careful on the back straight, drivers. Careful on the back straight. That is going to put George out to the top spot. Laxton bringing on that purple pain. 35 seconds in. Oh, close racing getting onto the back straight. Oh, top 4. The top three now in close quarters. George getting it slightly wrong. That is just enough for BG to drive on around. 55 seconds in, 5:05 to go. Oh, BG getting it way wrong in the rhythm. So does George. Pat getting sandwiched in the middle there. Got a minute 10 down, 4:50 to go. All right, now Brian, Pat, George, John, and Dave, your full running order. 120 down, 440 remains. All right, Brian 1 ahead of Pat. Now 2.5 ahead of Pat. Pat 0.8 ahead of George. George 2.8 ahead of John. John 1.1 ahead of Dave. Now minute 45 in, 4:15 to go. All right, BG holding it down out front. Pat Brill in the 2 spot, followed by George, John, and Dave. Actually, that's going to be Dave, then John now. .210 down, 3:50 to go. So BG out front. This time by 5.7 second lead. Got Pat 2.6 ahead of George. George clocking in 4.6 ahead of John, and John 3.5 ahead of Dave. Yeah, 240 down, 320 to go, drivers. Oh, help in the middle. 3:10 remains, drivers, almost halfway through. Brian 6 ahead of Pat, Pat 4 ahead of George, George 4.6 ahead of John, and John 10 ahead of Dave. Yeah, 3 down, 3 to go, racers. This is our final main event of the night, our truck class. .245 remains. So BG 6 ahead of Pat, Pat 6 ahead of George, George 4.6 ahead of John, and John 10 ahead of Dave. We got 225 remaining, drivers. Getting down to the short end of truck. Fastest lap here, Brian going 16.0. Got Pat 16.5, George is 17.6, John 17.5, and Dave a 17.0. 2:10 remains. All right, 4 minutes down.
2 minutes left.
So Brian, Pat, George, John, and Dave, your running order. $1.45 remains here. Minute 35 to go. So this time around, split times, we got Brian 6.4 ahead of Pat, Pat 11 ahead of George, George 5 ahead of John, and John 11 ahead of Dave. A minute 10 remains, drivers, 70 seconds left. All right, folks, we are now 5 minutes in.
1 minute left.
All right, 45 seconds to go. .35 seconds remain. Brian, Pat, George, John, and Dave. 25 seconds to go. .15 seconds left, drivers. 5 seconds left. Will BG make it? He does for a victory lap. So when you cross the line, you will be done.
George Laxon done. Patrick Brill done. Loctite Milio done. David Mull done. All drivers are finished.
All right, that'll be a race, guys. BG
Rice Cake
taking the
Supreme
W.
done.
Pat 2, George 3, John 4, and Dave 5. All right, thank you guys for coming out tonight. That will conclude Wednesday night racing. So we got a big weekend of on-road coming up, if you didn't hear. We're going to be doing practice Saturday. On-road track should be set up for practice on Saturday. And we'll be racing the Winter Classic On-Road Edition on Sunday. Prior to that, we will be conducting Friday night racing as regularly scheduled, 7 p.m. Once again, thank you all for coming out. Goodbye and good night.